Welcome to episode 16, No More Doubt. As we begin, we are going to step fully into our power. Welcome, ladies. We've crossed the threshold, a major threshold. The energy has finally begun to shift, and you've begun to pay attention. You absolutely know it now. There is no more waiting. There is no more second guessing. There's no more questioning if you're meant for this path because, sister, you are. It's time to align, time to rise, and time to embody the divine, as the crows scream, to embody the divine forces that you were always meant to be. And in the last episode, we talked about this energy shift that's begun to happen all around us, the chaos, the survival instinct, the how to transform into personal power. We've talked about Project 2025. We've talked about the Aliens Enemy Act. We've talked about the National Christianity Forum that's starting up. We've talked about all of that. But today is about what happens next. Because now it is the time to own it, sisters. This episode is for those who feel the call. We've been tapped. You've been tapped. You're here. You're listening. You know. And you're fully ready to embrace your own purpose. And you've learned in the last decade, let's say, or more, to no longer play small, to no longer hiding in those shadows. So, sisters, let's get into it. Hello, sisters, and welcome back. Oh, let me just open this soda. I don't ever have soda very often. If you know me, I've been very good with how I drink soda, and I'm just like, oh, I got to get some soda. It's a mango orange sun-kissed. Love it. It's so good. So, what I want to talk today about is the authentic flow and where we kind of left off in this last episode, right? Last time we dove really deep into these shifts that are happening right now. We've talked about the Schumann resonance, we've talked about the earthquakes, we've talked about Santorini, um, and we've talked about how the world is pushing us into this survival mode, how the chaos can either consume us as it felt so heavy in these last few months and as if we were being all weighed down with it, or how we can now transmute that into empowering us and how to use it to step into our higher selves. And it isn't I would say, just about like watching what's going on and what's happening in the world, because that's important. But at the same time, focusing too much on it, like I probably have been, is also how the world kind of like pushes us into that survival mode and how the chaos starts to push and pull in our lives. And so this wasn't just about watching it happen in the world. It's about recognizing how it pushes you into action. And it pushed me into acting in a almost an alarm bell fashion. And the universe isn't being subtle with any of us anymore. They are throwing it out there hard and heavy. The shapeshifter. Perfect card for this. Let's come on, pop it in. There we go. The shapeshifter. So we're gonna keep popping out cards throughout this today to see where it ends us. Okay. So since that episode, those episodes, I have been feeling more strongly pulled to stand up into my power and know fully that I am not alone in this. Like I see sisters out there, the 2 a.m., 3 a.m. club, and you guys are waking up because and having these problems simply on my end from what I see because you're struggling in that balance between logic and following your trust, having that trust within you. So it's that push and pull. And so I just want to reiterate that once again, you're not alone. Many of us have had um, these things going on. I've had people reach out to me, sharing what you've been feeling at the same time, and this like sense of almost like an urgency of I've got to do something. Um, but there's nothing really for you to do. We are in it and the shift has happened and now the biggest thing for us to do is to sit here and cultivate our energies. Um and there's also a lot of feeling of that we're getting of um now or never and it's like why like we're to forge a new path. We're to forge a new path forward. And so we don't have the luxury to doubt ourselves anymore is really what I'm trying to get to because the energy is here, the frequencies are extremely high. And those of us that have been tapped for a while now know what the calling is. We know what we're being called forward to do. So let's talk a little bit about that. And we got the 10 of trees. I love this card. This card works really well for this. So amongst all of this is going on in the foreground, right? And then in the background, if you notice, there's right there is a little shining. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on. There we go. No? Okay. This happens to my camera all the time. But there's a little diamond reflection right there. And that's us. We're meant to be that diamond that shines up at the top of that castle waiting for people. So we'll leave that one right there. And so we all feel this frequency, this high frequency, and we're powered by the best of nature right now. We are all being like super charged. So we kind of have to take that time and understand where we need to put our energy. Trust in your divine path. Okay. It is no longer time to be doubtful of your path or to be doubtful of what you're seeing, what you're feeling. And I know even myself, I was just like, oh my God, do I really have to go out there in front of the world, essentially, even though it's not a lot of followers right now? It's okay. Um, and express what I'm seeing and express my visions that I'm seeing so that we can be prepared, not to fearmonger, not to throw you into chaos or a panic, but to pull you back into that frequency and energy so that you can continue to thrive through these shifts. Because we are not done with the chaos by any means. This week is going to be a doozy. Ooh, doozy. Yeah, a lot of sacrifice. A lot of sacrifice. So it's really time for you to cast away that doubt. When it starts to fester up in you, you have to realize that um the guru says it's a parasite. It eats you up from the inside. It eats away your brain, that doubt. It's a horrible parasite. So you have to purge it from your body. And so let's be real. Doubt has held us back long enough, long enough. I don't know how many of you, but for me, I'm 46, about to be 47, and that doubt has ruled me for the longest time, and it gone. There was the doubt in my own visions, the doubt in my own power, the doubt in my own gifts, the doubt in my own ability to lead, create a safe and sacred space, and to fully step into who I was meant to be. And it was almost as if having to have having my near death experience and crossing the Black River and going through the pools of cleansing and shifting all of that generational crap off of my bloodline was definitely a wake-up call that no, this is really, really what's going on. And we have the orbs. The orbs are the infinite beings, the celestials that bring us the power or the untapping of our powers. And so, again, I want to reiterate, let's be real. Doubt has been holding you back for so long. You've doubted in your power. You've doubted in your gifts. You've doubted in your ability to get up and lead and to create, to be a creatrix, to fully be who you are meant to be. But I feel very strongly that this shift is over. The swan, perfect timing, that this shift is over. This phase, this shift for you is like I was talking about was like this cogs that are trying to step in or to lock in and or the stargates that are trying to lock in on their chirons. Like I feel like we've actually started to slowly start to clunk, 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 like if we were sinking into that space. So if like you feeling that call, if you feel you've been seeing the signs, the synchronicities, the angel numbers, you've been feeling the energy shift. You've been experiencing visions, you've been experiencing flashes, experiencing the knowing that you are ready. Well, it's here. This is your time. This is your sign. This is the final sign. They'll probably give your spirit guides and ancestors and those will and army will probably throw you a few more bones, but they are really getting at the end of it for all of us, letting us know that no, this is it. This phase is over. So again, this is because there is a common truth that we all have. You wouldn't have felt this pull if you weren't meant for this. You wouldn't have been seeing the signs if you weren't ready to step into this alignment. The divine wouldn't have knocked if it was time to answer. If it wasn't time to answer the door, if it was time to still stay hermit or still stay in the cave of darkness. The world is going to be needing the healers, the warriors, the visionaries, the truth seers now more than ever. Now more than ever, because there is so much chaos out there, so much lies, misinformation, and it's flooding us right now. And we need this now. We don't need this next year when things start to calm down, right? No, we need you in place now, right now. And this means stepping fully into your power without any more hesitations. This means coming before a YouTube video like I am doing. The Weaver just had an amazing circle on Sunday. We were destiny weaving with Nephesis and Kuan Yin. Wow, 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 wow. I I'm trying to decide in the last 24 if I should go ahead and make that public on my page. And I think I will. So let me just jot that down. Do I have my paper here? No. Okay. I'll remember. Public circle. Okay. The Destiny Weavers. Again, right there. If you're not paying, it's they're throwing it out at us. I'm not, this is completely shuffled decks. So this means just fully step into your power without any more hesitations. To no longer play small, to be ready. If you feel the call to make a group, make a group. If you feel the call to create sacred space, create sacred space. If you feel the call to join a coven, join a coven. If you feel called to reach out to me, reach out. No worries. We can get you there. If it's not with me, I have other sisters. So again, this means stepping into our power and beginning to align ourselves, not begin, because we've already begun, to dial it in just a little bit more, because that's more of what we're doing right now is we're more just like scanning that frequency just a little bit, just a little click, another little click. If you're old school like me and you had the old radios and just a little net, whoosh, you went the other way. So, maybe you need to tune it back a little bit so that you can hear better. The frequencies have changed and the energy coming is stronger than anything that we've seen in the last, I would say probably 29,000 years is what I want to say. 29,000 some odd years. And if you've been struggling, if you've been feeling out of balance, it's because your body, mind, and spirit are still adjusting. And what that looks like, it really feels like waves of energy that may be moving through you. A high vibration under your skin, as if you feel like you're going to jump out of your skin, but your skin's normal. There's no shake, there's no vibration. It's just internal. A lot of us are starting to get sudden flashes, downloads of information, visions, or just deep pitted in our stomach knowing. We're experiencing a sense of urgency, like everybody waking up going, okay, is it going to happen now? Is it now? Like I, I don't want to bust out my old client, but I'm going to have to. Yesterday we had an earthquake here in California, and it was in Dublin, California. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. My name is Shannon. It's Irish. I'm not Irish. I'm Hispanic, Chilean, and it happened exactly during my angel number. And so my client calls me freaking out, sends me text, is just like losing their mind over this. This has got to mean something. I just don't understand. And I'm like, it's very easy. It's very easy. These are the um that sense of urgencies, right? We all feeling like, oh my God, this is it. No, this is it, right? So we have that feeling, but you're just not sure, right? You know that there's something coming. You know it and it's big, but you're just not sure. You're not sure when, where, what. We also have a lot of physical symptoms going on in our collective, in our community. Fatigue. Fatigue has been major. We've also had a lot of ringing of the ears. These last two I've experienced a lot, and they are headaches and bursts of energy followed by like a super hard crash. Um, and so I would like to give you a little bit of like pointers on how to work with that so that you can navigate it without feeling lost. Um, the first one is to stop second guessing yourself. Second guessing ourselves is what causes the extra symptoms to come in. So the time for questioning is over. Trust what you have received. We have a lot of sisters that are still caught in the 3D aspect, focusing on a lot on, and I have done it too, quite a bit, I admit. Um, and that's where I'm kind of learning to shift. And so I want to kind of help you learn to shift along with me. Is that yes, we have all these visions of what's coming. We see all these visions. We have the sisters that are very, um, I don't know how to put this. The best way to put it, um, is that we have sisters that are still stuck in the, I want to continue my life the way this is, but I just want it to get better. And that's this is where I have a problem struggling with labeling that as anything because hope is a great thing to have, right? But again, if you're hoping for something that you've already been given clarity on, you've already been given notice on, that you've already begun to go into alignment with, you have to go with the flow. You have to flow with it. You can't, you have to weave it in. You have to be the mystic. Okay. Be the mystic. While the world is burning around you, know that there's still magic. And we don't have to hope that he rigged the election. Because we all know that he did. He's told us he did. Him and Elon are out there fucking off the world. Sorry for the language. You know, it's chaos. Look at what they're doing, shutting down everything, switching everything to the state-run media. And so you have to be the mystic to be able to foresee beyond that. And some of my sisters are still caught in the, I'm seeing the nows. And I think it might be a bit of the hopefulness that's coming in from your heart that is casting this into your vision. But majority of the time, I think what is really, really happening is your your visions that you're seeing are the things you're actually wanting to happen. And those are still possibilities. So trust it, but don't get continuously hung up on it. If you're seeing that this is going to happen on a such and such date, um, put it out there, but give yourself the disclaimer. Give yourself the disclaimer that, things could shift. Free will is always a thing, which we do have. So this tells you right here, the Seven of Trees, which is the correlation of the Seven of Pentacles. And this is all about reward and purpose, right? So you're seeing all this stuff, you're getting all these rewards, and that's why you want to keep it going. You want to keep that current status, and it's okay, but your current status will shift into something better when you let go of this one, because this one has to burn. So, second guessing yourself, stop second guessing yourself. The time for questioning is completely over. Trust what you're receiving. If you're receiving tidbits of current time, Jot it down, keep it going. Understand that maybe what you're seeing is the real truth of what's going on, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the outcome is going to be what we would assume it would be. Okay, hopefully that helps. Making sure that you're grounding in daily. These higher frequencies need balance, and it's hard. Okay, excuse me. Um, maybe with balancing these energies, you need to pull a a frequency meditation, music frequencies, binary beats. Maybe you need to walk barefoot. Um, engage in meditations. Matter of fact, I will be doing a meditation and posting it here soon, probably this weekend. I want to take you guys on a journey to meet Isis's twin sister, Nephesis. Um, and so other thing you can do is practicing your divination, your 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 spiritual tools. Like for instance, this is why I like to pull the cards when I'm having this type of session or setting because it aligns. It makes sure we're aligning right. We're not throwing any bullshit out there. We're staying on point and authentic. So another thing is to make sure that you're strengthening your energy field. What that looks like is your protection rituals, making sure you have your beads, making sure you're covered, making sure you're wearing your head coverings if you're going into public spaces or if you're in the public eye or you have a live event where that kind of energy can be pulled in. If you've called in sacred space and you have that coming in, you want to still make sure you're covered unless you have a good hair dyeing veil like I do. I use a beautiful veil I cast upon my hair before I dye it, and I always purple. That's be me. Stay nice and shielded. Making sure at least once a week you're doing an energy cleanse. And what I mean by energy cleanse, okay, since we have some that are out there that like to go, oh, well, apparently that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. No, this is how you do an energy cleanse, okay? You start with your home. You start with wiping your home down from the front to the back, front to the back, doorways, windowways, floors, walls, ceilings. You wash the whole home. You wash it with spiritual waters, floor washes, bath washes that are meant for this specific energy cleanse. You do smoke cleansings. You can do salt and energy sound frequencies like ringing a bell, jingling a bell, doing the singing bowls. Then you're going to, once you have done that, take your butt to the shower, okay? And you're going to cleanse yourself as well. It's a process, right? You clean your house, you go get clean. You clean your house, you go get clean. So you clean your house once a week, make sure you're doing a spiritual cleanse at the same time afterwards. So go to your local Botanica, get yourself a spiritual wash. Um, go on My Botanica. You can order one from me. All of my washes are handmade. I don't put any alcohol in them. I do use Florida water though, so that does already have that element of alcohol in it. And I do always use blue anil to make sure that you have that cleanse because Anybody that's from the old school knows that you put blue enamel in your whites and they be bright. So, making sure you're getting a good cleanse of your energy, your home environment, keeping your protections, rituals strong, and also, again, shielding and veiling yourself, making sure you're shielded and veiling. Always be cleansing your aura with sage or Palo Santo or Florida waters or any of the spiritual sprays you can get from different botanicas are also okay. You can, you know, and it'll help. The other thing you need to do is to begin to step into your craft fully. Follow your life map or follow your medicine wheel. I have a program in my membership that is called the Medicine Wheel, where I teach you how to begin the foundations of learning your craft. And what do I mean by that? I mean by your deities, the craft that you should be working with specifically. Um, Gosh, there's so much that goes into your medicine wheel. Your spirit animals, your demon guides. I teach you how to find all this so that you can begin to fully step into your power, whether you're a healer, a guide, a creator, it's time to own it, right? And stop dimming your light. I am a great example of dimming your own light. I have the hardest time promoting my business in any atmosphere, any space. So if I can begin to do it, you can too. And by the way, be on the lookout. I'm going to have a promo short on YouTube coming up for a very, 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 very special program that I have designed and was given the okay during my near-death experience when I crossed over that this is the program, this is it, go for it, you are it. So that will be coming up soon. And so, like, if you are feeling like you need support in this transition, uh, here we go. I've created tools at Muse Goddess Botanica specifically for this shift. I have custom oils, I have talismans that we can have charged and sent to you. I have ritual kits that can be custom designed, especially specifically for you, and are fortified as you step into your divine power, okay, with my protection. So, what does that mean? That means it's time to embody the divine one you were always meant to be, sister. The doubt, the fear, the hesitation, those were never yours to carry. Those are just social norms that get put onto you so that you can be held down, a form of oppression. You weren't meant to stay hidden. I wasn't meant to stay hidden. We were meant to lead. The doubt, the fear, the hesitations, they were never ours to carry. They were placed on us by a world that knew our power before we did. But now you see it. I see it. We all are seeing it. And now you get to choose. Now, this is where free will comes in. This is what stepping into your divine self looks like. You stop waiting for the permission. You speak your truth even when it shakes the room. You trust your intuition over all the external noises. And you create and you lead and you own your gifts without any more apologies. My favorite saying is I am perfectly imperfect, unapologetically. You can be too. So, my final message for you today is to hear the call for you to step forward. This is it. This is it right now, right here, 2025. This is it. No more doubting, no more waiting, because everything we're seeing is coming true. Everything we've seen has come to fruition. And I just keep hearing, we've been there, we've done that. A couple episodes back, it was, this is in our blueprint. So, as the world is shifting, and those of us that have been called in an emergent way to step up, whether your path is healing, teaching, creating, leading, guiding others through this difficult storm that we're about to endure, you know it's time. You just needed to hear it. So if this as episode resonates with you, if you feel pulled but don't know where to start, reach out to me. Message me. I'll send you my email, Shannon Lugo, shannon.lugo@gmail.com, shannon.lugo@gmail.com, all lowercase. You can find me there, message me. You can find me here on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, Lugo Shannon, all lowercase. You can find me on Blue Sky, Muse Goddess Botanica. You can find me on my website, Muse Goddess Botanica. So again, if you're feeling this, but you don't know where to start, reach out, find me, connect with me. Let's walk a path together, sister. Check out all of my new products that I put up at Muse Goddess Botanica, all for the spiritual tools that are designed to help support you during this shift. The other thing you can do is join a movement if this is you're being called to. Join a movement, find a group, find a set of sisters. I have a good set of resources for sisters that are accepting members into their groups. Reach out to me. Let's connect. I can help you. If you're looking for something local, it might be a little harder, but we can definitely find you something that's safe and sacred online. And please just remember, this isn't about surviving these times anymore. It's about stepping fully into your divine force and the force that you were always meant to be. You've always known this. Everything that has happened is now happening for your ultimate good. Because this isn't just the beginning. And trust me, you were made for this. This is our foundation, not the beginning. So, in further episodes to come, we're going to dive into the next phase of this journey, which is the signs and synchronicities that we've all had coming through, unless something else crazy comes through for me in my own visions that needs to be discussed. We're going to talk about the deeper messages that we're getting from spirit. We're going to talk about what the shift means for those that are actually starting to step into their power as a spiritual warrioress. The Mender. That is a beautiful card. There we go. I love that. She's got the lotus on her head. She's on a lotus flower um, lily pad. And there's the circular chaos up here above her head. And she's just mending her whole life while it's all going on around her. That is beautiful. So until next time, my spiritual goddesses, my spiritual warriors, my divine sisters, thank you for joining me. And again, um, if you go to Muse Botanica, Muse Goddess Botanica, you will find that I have a $47 membership, which for just a limited time right now, those that join the membership will be getting free access to my High Priestess program that I'm going to be offering soon, um, and a bunch of other things. Um, but you'll also have full access to all of my full and new moon circles with my coven and my group of sacred sisters. So till next time, don't forget to hit the links in my bio, join my membership, reach out if this is resonating with you. Until next time, thank you.